Okay, lovely. Thank you. So here's our agenda, which I've just spoken about. So now I'm going to ask our hosts if they could introduce themselves. So Veli, can I pass over to you, please?
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everyone, for your presence. My name is Veli Georgiev, president of EPEA, a non-government organization with little bit longer name than this short EPEA, which is Association for Non-Formal Education European Cultural Epicenter Bitola. I'm focused on, or my interest is non-formal education, and mainly as an organization, we are using the Erasmus Plus program for working with empowered and empowering disadvantaged groups. With me, we have here Ivana Baltovska. She is also part-time member from in EPEA and working in the Bitola prison. She is with master in criminal law and provide inmates with legal help and actively engage in the resocialization process. Also with me is Sofia Mitskowska, and she is project assistant in EPEA with a degree for environment engineering. All three of us will give a brief presentation of our organization, then of the venue and how to reach to the venue. Firstly, I will go with the presentation of EPEA. Later on, Ivana will present you about Skopje, and Sofia about the arrival. So our mission of our organization is to provide a lifelong learning through non-formal education for everyone. As a vision, we have creating an inclusive society with active citizens who are personally and professionally accomplished. And the aim of our association is to provide high-quality non-formal educational programs for the citizens of Republic of North Macedonia, Europe, and the world. As I mentioned before, mainly our work is through the Erasmus Plus program, and probably you might think how EPEA is organizing this EPEA conference. So within one Erasmus Plus project on which that we are working at the moment is that we are discovering how much the Erasmus Plus program is used by the correctional institutions for providing opportunities through the Erasmus Plus program for young inmates or young offenders. And that's how, through this project, we got contacted with EPEA, and we as organization applied for hosting the conference of EPEA 2025 because we think it's really, it will be very valuable for our country as a host. I would like to give the word to Ivana now, so she can present the general information about the venue you are visiting. Please, Ivana.
Hello. I'm going to present you some information regarding North Macedonia and Skopje, where the conference will take place. North Macedonia is a country that is located in Southeast Europe, as you can see on the other slide, bordered by Kosovo, Albania, Bulgaria, Greece, and Serbia. It is a country that is not so big, with a population of almost 2 million people, and it's predominantly Christian country, but also we have some Muslim population and a lot of ethnic groups such as Albanians, Turks, Roma people, Serbs, and Vlach people. What is important to mention about Republic of Macedonia is that in 1945, Macedonia was part of the SFRJ, or Socialistic Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, and our country gained the independence on 8th of September 1991. So after that, Macedonia became just Republic of Macedonia. We had that name a lot of years, and after a long dispute and problems with Greece over our name, we changed our name in Republic of North Macedonia in 2019 with the Prespa agreement. Here on this slide, you can see the location of North Macedonia on the Balkan Peninsula. The picture on the right place, and here is our neighbors, as I said, Albania, Kosovo, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece. Now you can go to the next slide. The venue of our conference will be Skopje. So here we will present you a brief history of Skopje and some places that are worth visiting during the conference when you have free time. Skopje is the capital city of North Macedonia and is also the biggest city in our country. In population and in squares, of course. According to our last census, which was in 2021, there are 500,000 inhabitants, but the number is always increasing because a lot of people move to Skopje and stay and live there because this is the biggest city and people have a lot of much opportunities to work there. What is important to mention regarding Skopje is the earthquake that happened in 1963 at 5:17 in the morning, where there was an enormous earthquake where around 1,000 people lost their lives, and moreover than 20,000 people were homeless, and 87 nations and countries tried to help in the restoration and the renovation of Skopje. So that is why Skopje is known as the city of solidarity, because a lot of countries helped in the process of rebuilding the city. You can go to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about some of the most important things to see in Skopje and touristic attractions. On this slide, you can see we are going to talk about Macedonia Square, the Stone Bridge, and Old Railway Station. The first picture, you can go to the next slide. This is Macedonia Square. This is the biggest square in our country and also the biggest square in Skopje, where you can see the monuments, a lot of monuments and places to visit. To the next, on the next slide, you can. This is the Stone Bridge. This is near the square. It connects the square with the old bazaar, and also here are some of our important museums, such as the Museum of Holocaust and Museum of the Revolution here on the left side, which are really close to the Macedonian Square. On the other side, on the next slide of this, is the Macedonian old railway station. Now it's museum dedicated to the earthquake that happened in 1963. As you can see in this picture, the clock has stopped at 5:17 a.m. when the earthquake began. So now this place is, as it was old railway station, now it's a museum dedicated to the victims and to the earthquake. What was the biggest tragedy in Macedonia in that time. You can go to the next slide. Also, the other place you should visit is the Old Bazaar, which is one of the most important and interesting places in Skopje. It reminds us of the Ottoman cities because it's a place from the Ottoman period, as you can see in this picture. There are a lot of crafts and a lot of products that you can buy only here and not in other place in Skopje. And also, if you want to try some good food, traditional Macedonian foods, and some sweets or Turkish coffee, you should visit this place. This place was a long period influenced by the Ottoman Empire, and it reminds us of the cities in Turkey because, for example, the bazaars in Istanbul or Izmir, wherever, looks really similar to this place, because Macedonia was a lot of big time occupied by the Ottoman Empire. So we can go to the next slide. We must mention the Kale or fortress in Skopje, which is also known fortress of Justinian the first. It is like a fortress that is located in the top of Skopje. And if you want to have a nice walk and see a beautiful sights from Skopje from above, you should visit this fortress. The entrance is really cheap, maybe around 100 denars. And this fortress is known because it was built in the time while Justinian first was governing the Roman Empire. And it looks like a castle, like a fortress. It's not so big, but it's really beautiful. So you can visit, have a walk here, enjoy the views of Skopje, and it's really worth visiting. Can go to the next slide. Another activity that you should do while you're in Skopje is visit the Contemporary Art Museum, which is also located in Skopje, and this is the biggest and the most modern museum in our country. It was founded in 1963 after the terrible earthquake that happened, and this is just one picture from the museum. It was made by the assistance and help from the Polish government, and this museum is also created after the earthquake that happened in 1693. So if you want to know something more about history and museums, you should visit these museums also. The entrances for our museums are really cheap, so you should visit. You can visit as many museums as you want. Also, we want to show the Vodno. It's mountain also located near to Skopje. You can go there by walking, by bike. You can go by bus, car. Also, you can go there by cable car. So there are many different ways for you to go to Vodno. This is the picture. This is the millennial cross, and it represents 2000 years. It's like symbol of 2000 years for Christianity. This is a perfect opportunity if you want to make some adventure, go there and have some fresh air, and also enjoy the beautiful sights that you can see from Skopje from above. One of the best attractions and adventures you can do while you're in Skopje is Canyon Matka. It's located on Treska River, and it's a really popular place if you want to do some rock climbing, kayaking, hiking, enjoy your coffee or enjoy your lunch there. This is the canyon. It's surrounded by rocks and, as you can see, rocky whales. You can go with boat, like do some cruising, or you can go kayaking if you want to visit the whole canyon. Also, there are a lot of caves, as you can see on the another slide. This is Vrelo cave, and there are a lot of caves like this located in Canyon Matka, but this is the most important and the biggest cave that you can visit while you are there. So if you want to do some adventure and visit some of Macedonian most important and interesting places, you should definitely go to Matka and Vrelo cave. Go to the next slide. Also, we have the Skopje aqueduct. That is really near to Skopje. It's located in the village Vizbegovo, which is 2 kilometers northwest of central Skopje. It's an aqueduct that was built from stones and bricks, as you can see in this picture. And most of the facts from our history say that this is aqueduct from the period of the Roman Empire, and that Justinian first was one of the people that built this. Also, there are other thoughts that think that this aqueduct was from the Ottoman Empire, but most of the people agree that this was aqueduct from the time of Justinian first and the Roman Empire, because it really reminds us of the buildings in Roman history. Also, you can go to another slide. Skopje, it's a city of Roman times again, and it's an archaeological site. It's around 5 kilometers northwest from the center of the city Skopje. And also, if you want to visit another archaeological sites, and you can go there. There are also tourist guides and a museum and a store where you can buy souvenirs, so you can find out more regarding Skopje, which is the ancient city. And this is really proof that Skopje was governed by the Roman Empire a long time ago. You can go to the next slide.
Just to interrupt you, Ivana. So what Ivana presented is mainly in Skopje and what is happening or what you can see near Skopje. This means if you come one day earlier or during the evening, you can visit these sites or the free time. But if you want to come 2 or 3 days earlier, you can also see other cities which are nearby, which are going to be presented now, and from which you can take bus, which will take 2.5 hours to get to the other venues that now Ivana will present.
Okay, so one of the cities that you can visit if you have enough time is Bitola. Bitola is the city where our organization is located, and it's like around 2.5 hours with bus or car from Skopje. The Bitola is a city that is located in the southwestern part in North Macedonia. And these are pictures in Bitola. The first picture, the left corner, is a wide street. In our language is called Širok Sokak Street. And this is the perfect place if you want to enjoy your coffee or if you want to have some lunch. On the right picture, there is, it's called Big Lake, and it's located on Pelister or Baba Mountain, which is the second highest mountain in North Macedonia. The third picture is Heraclea Linkestis. It's also archaeological site that is located in Bitola from the Roman period that you can also visit if you are interested in history. And the last picture is the Museum of Kemal Atatürk. That was a military school, and it was the school where Kemal Atatürk studied while he was here, and now it is a museum. Another city you should visit is Ohrid, which is like maybe 3.5 hours far from Skopje, and it's also called as Jerusalem on the Balkans because it has 365 churches, one church for each day of the year, and it's also known because it's protected by UNESCO, especially the lake. The Lake Ohrid is the deepest lake in the Balkans and one of the deepest lakes in Europe in general. This is the picture of Ohrid, and you can see that all the houses are really similar because they have a specific architecture here. And you can also go visit Ohrid, visit the museums, visit the lake, go kayaking or have some riding with a boat, or visit the fortress we have here. That was all for now for Macedonia and your visit.
Thank you, Ivana. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to come. I'm really excited
We're
because
waiting for you.
the organising committee gets to come for an advance visit in June. So we're really looking forward to coming and seeing you, and then to being there in November with hopefully about 150 other people. So thank you very much. That was a really beautiful presentation. Thank you. Who's going to speak to us about transport?
Me. Hello, everyone.
Thank
so
you.
we'll talk about the flight options, the transport options, and the hotel. This is Skopje International Airport, and is distance around 23 kilometers from Hotel Alexander Palace, which is around 20 minutes drive. This airport is the bigger and busier of the two that we have in Macedonia, and the other one is in Ohrid, and it's called St. Paul the Apostle Airport. You can go to the next slide. So, as you can see, there are many direct flights to Skopje. These are from Wizz Air, and they're from Belgium, Germany, France, Hungary, Italy, Malta, the Netherlands, Norway, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. So there are a lot of options from different cities. Next slide, maybe. Yes, this is a little mixed up, but
sorry, I think the formatting's gone a bit askew. Sorry.
Not a problem. There are also flights from different airlines like Turkish Airlines, Pegasus, Aegean Airlines, Austrian Airlines, Croatian Airlines, Air Serbia, and so on, and other cities as well. So Please keep in mind that direct flights can change. So when you buy the tickets, make sure you do that after the 1st of May, maybe. Okay. There are 3 options to reach the hotel from the airport, and the first option is to get a shuttle bus. Here is a link with a timetable of all the shuttle buses that go from the airport to the Skopje city center and vice versa. So that is, I think, maybe the best option. Also, the second one is a taxi, but this is the most expensive option of the 3, and it can take around 25 euros from the airport to the Skopje center. The last option is for EPEA to organize the transport, and this would depend on the dates and the time that the participants arrive. So maybe we can organize 1 or 2 buses to take the participants from the airport and bring them to the hotel.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. I think it worked really well, certainly for the return journey from people going from the hotel back to the airport at the end of the conference. That worked really well for us in Norway. It's very useful to have the shuttle bus options. And of course, if people are arriving in a group, then they may decide that a few of them can get a taxi together. So thank you. That's really useful.
No problem. This is the Hotel Alexander Palace, and it is close to the center. It's around 3 kilometers, and you can see more pictures and more information on the link. This is how the hotel looks from the outside, and they offer single rooms, twin rooms, double rooms, a junior suite, executive suite, and a presidential suite.
And they've got a very impressive conference center as well, which is why we've chosen to hold our event there.
Yes, thank you for mentioning it. You can go to the next slide. These are other hotel options. So there are 2 hotels near the Alexander Palace. One is Hotel Story and one is Hotel Porto. And other hotels in Skopje are Holiday Inn, Ibis, Park Hotel, Domestika, Istanbul, and Super 8. So you can open the links and see more pictures or information. And I think that's it about the hotels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. That was a really interesting and appetizing summary of what we can expect when we come to your city. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask about Skopje itself or about travel arrangements before we move on to talk about the conference theme? I can't see the chat, I'm afraid. Thomas, have we got any questions people have asked?
No, but I put the links mentioned in the presentation in the chat.
Lovely, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move on and talk about the conference theme itself. So when we were fortunate enough to gather in Norway, in Tonsberg, one of the presentations which really received a lot of very positive feedback was in the form of a discussion really between an academic researcher and a young prison teacher. And partly they had a really beautiful charisma and energy between them. But it was also just so interesting to hear them talking about how the research and the recommendations from this very experienced academic had been put into practice for the teacher in the prison. And it really brought the research to life. And so we thought that we would try to expand on that idea of the conversation and the dialogue for our conference this year. And what we've done is we've identified these 5 key groups of people who are involved in some way in education in prison, and we've tried to keep students right at the heart of this. We were also very conscious that we didn't really have the voice of a student present at the conference, and we appreciate that this can be difficult because if people are still in prison, that can be difficult to enable them to obviously to travel, but even also to attend virtually. But we do know that there's a lot of people who've been released from prison who might be able to share their experiences, and we really want to encourage people with that direct personal experience to be participating in our conference. And then the other 4 groups, so we've got prison teachers, prison officers, the academic researchers, and also the prison authorities, or the sort of organising responsible groups representing the state. So our idea is that we're inviting contributions from pairs or groups of people who can demonstrate a collaboration. Maybe it's a student and a teacher together who can show how they've worked together on a project, or how something that the teacher has done has enabled the student to progress on their pathway. Perhaps it's looking at a prison officer and a prison teacher who can show how they've collaborated to address a particular issue that has been a problem in their specific prison. So there's lots of opportunity. We're not limiting what you can talk about. We're just inviting you to share some ideas about your own collaboration and, as we say, the dialogue. So we've called it Open Up the Dialogue and Let's Talk. So there is, this is sort of what I've already been saying, really. You're invited to contribute either as a main speaker in one of the large group sessions, or as a workshop leader for a smaller group. So the idea is that we will have some sessions where everybody in the conference is attending and listening to a main speaker or pair of speakers, and then we'll have some smaller sessions as breakout groups where people can choose which ones they go to attend during the conference. There's a link on our website where you can fill in the online form so that you can put in your application, and that's the link there. We've actually extended the date. We've pushed it back because we wanted to give people the opportunity to attend this webinar first. So we've pushed the final date back to the 15th of April for you to send in your submissions for your speaking slots. So on to the conference fees. We've worked really hard to try and keep these as low as possible. We know that a lot of people will be looking for Erasmus funding from the KA1 Mobility, and we did try to make sure that we'd published in response to feedback from last time. We tried to publish this as early as possible with the dates and the fees to make sure that people could apply for their own personal funding. So there's a reduced rate if you are a member of EPEA, and if you're not, then there's a link on our website where you can apply to renew your membership. We're also going to be offering a 50% reduction in the fees for anybody who is invited as a contributor, either a speaker or a workshop leader. And we also, in recognising financial disparity, we're offering a reduced rate from participants coming from Eastern and Southern Europe, and we've got a list of which countries are included there on our website in the section under fees. So the conference fee will include all of your meals apart from one lunch. So we do think that that's really very good value for what we're offering. You do then have to pay separately for your accommodation, and again we've tried to be as flexible as we can on the accommodation. So there's lots of accommodation available at the Alexander Palace, at the venue, and the rooms will cost €90 per night. There are some twin rooms available, so if you have a colleague you're happy to share with, that will reduce the price. But you also have the choice if you would prefer to arrange your own accommodation, and that's partly why Sophia was giving you that list of links of other hotels where you could stay, which are close by. Or maybe you just want to make your own other personal arrangements, and that's also fine. So I think that's everything that I was going to cover in terms of practical arrangements. We've whizzed through quite quickly. Would anybody like to ask me any questions about the speakers or the applications or anything else related to the arrangements?
I would like to ask, so if we apply for a workshop, how long does it take that we get the answer? if it's possible to have this workshop or not?
We are we're lining ourselves up ready to review all of the applications, and I think we're hoping to get that answer out by the end of April.
Okay.
Will that be okay for your
Yeah,
arrangement?
absolutely, yes. Because then it depends on the price and on the organization and everything.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
I may add that the contributors will first be informed that they are approved as contributors, and after this we start registration. So in the registration form you then make a cross where a contributor is, and then it's clear that you get the reduced rate.
Thanks, Thomas. Are there any more questions about the arrangements?
Once again, it just came to my mind. So is there some information how long a workshop can be, or if we want to be like a speaker, how much time we have? And so is this in an extra information somewhere?
So we haven't specified that yet, but just from what we've had in the past, usually about a 45 minute time slot works well. We then can try to allow some, so if you're delivering a workshop, you might have maybe 20 minutes of presentation and 20 minutes of discussion time or activity or something where people can be talking. If you're giving a main speaker slot, then you might be talking for half an hour, 40 minutes or so. And then, of course, we try to make sure that we build in a lot of breaks between the sessions. We know that actually this is one of the best things about being at a conference, is the opportunity to speak to so many people from all over Europe who are working in the same field that we are. It's such a treat to be able to spend time with people from so many different countries and to be sharing all of our good practice. So again, one of the reasons why we've chosen this hotel is because it offers lots of space for us to do that. And that especially if you're staying in the hotel as well, you'll be able to have your breakfast and your lunch and all your meals with all of the other participants. Any more questions that you'd like to ask? Thomas, do you want to add anything else about conference arrangements?
No, I think the most important and what we know until now is said. Maybe just one thing, as the discussion or the theme is let's talk, contributions hasn't to be these big things. It's a professional exchange. So just tell what you do in your daily professional life, and if you have one story to tell it. And it doesn't have to be the extraordinary, sensational, whatever thing, but what really interests how you manage your daily life as a prison staff, as an educator, as a teacher in prison. That's what interests and what is nice to hear from each other. So don't hesitate to do a workshop as simple as it is. It hasn't to be a big thing, just the exchange. That's the most important thing.
Really good point. Thank you. And, you know, it's a very friendly audience of people who are interested to hear about your good practice and what's worked well for you, but also what hasn't worked. You know, it doesn't have to have been something that's hugely successful. If you've got learning, we tried this, didn't work, we tried that instead. We're also interested to hear about that. And speaking personally, I'm always very conscious of the fact that I'm a native English speaker, and so this is very easy for me. And I'm hugely admiring of people who manage to contribute to a conference in what is their second or third spoken language. So if the idea of presenting in English is off-putting to you, please do let us know. We really want to try and make sure we can arrange some translation and make things as accessible as possible, because I know that that can be daunting for people if you're not as comfortable at speaking in English.
Yes, we may help you translate your PowerPoint presentation or work on your speech with you in English. So yes, so don't hesitate. Also, by this, it's not an obstacle. Everyone tries as he or she can. So, and the most important thing that we understand each other and can follow the ideas and thinkings of a person.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see put in as much as we can in advance so that people can have access to notes and materials and things, so that you've got a good opportunity. Now with AI translation, it's made things a lot easier in some regards. So we're going to see what we can do in terms of making sure that that's very accessible for people. Okay, are there any other questions that you'd like to ask about our conference plans? All right. Well, thank you all very much for your time. Thank you to people who are able to watch the recording as well. We look forward to receiving your submissions for speakers, and we really look forward to seeing you in Skopje in November. Huge thanks to Vele and Sophia and Ivana this afternoon for sharing all of your photos and information about your beautiful city. We're really enjoying working with you on the planning. It's a lot of work to organise a conference, and we really appreciate everything that you're doing to enable that to happen. Thomas has just shared in the chat that registration will start around May the 7th. So we will be sending out that link through our email. If you're not signed up, then you can make sure that you become an EPEA member, and that will make sure that you're on the mailing list. So thank you all again for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in person, some of us in June and some of us in November.